All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks again for being here. We've been so excited about this day. We are bringing to you something that we've been working on for quite a while now. Really excited to present it to you today. So I will dive right in it. But first of all, I want to welcome everyone. I see folks from all over the country, really, which is great to see. We will be doing more of these virtual events so that the folks that don't live here locally in the Tampa Bay area have an opportunity to participate and have an opportunity to receive these updates and the latest news and the happenings that we have going on here. So again, I appreciate your time. I appreciate you being here and registering for this event. So I will dive right into it. So today we're going to talk about the Prosperity Pathfinder. First, I want to give you sort of an introduction to Boardwalk Wealth Solutions, introduce you to our team here locally, and also talk about the resources and back office team that we have with our partner firms, LPL Financial and IHT Wealth Management. And then we'll dive right into the Prosperity Pathfinder. It is a process made up of 4 different stages or steps, if you will. The current manifest, the Destination Clarifier, the Journey Navigator, and the Legacy Multiplier. If you are already a client, you will see many familiar things within these processes because I've been using many of these processes with my clients for years. Uh, and we've also enhanced a lot of these processes with current automation, with IT products that we're using, and different tools and resources that I did not have available to me at prior firms, but now that I have gone independent as of the last 3 or 4 years, we have so many more resources and opportunities to enhance your experience. And we've done that with the Prosperity Pathfinder. So, like I said, you'll see a lot of things. If you're already a client, you'll see a lot of things that look very familiar because we've already been servicing you in these ways. We've just now sort of packaged it and named it. And so now, we've created this visual where you can see where you are in the process at any given time. And then we'll conclude. Today, I'm not going to take any questions. If you'd like to send a question in the chat, feel free to do that. I may be able to respond to you during this webinar, but if not, I will certainly reach out to you afterwards. I will also provide everyone with many different ways you can reach out to us. You can follow us on Facebook, Instagram. I'm sorry, not Instagram. You can follow us on Facebook. You can connect with me on LinkedIn. And then, of course, we have our phone and email and website and a whole bunch of ways you can reach out to us. So meet the team. If you already work with us, you know myself and you know Kim. If you're new to Boardwalk, this is our team here locally. I'll tell you a little bit more about myself and about Kim here in a minute. But we also have, as I mentioned before, our partner firms. LPL Financial is our broker dealer that we partner with. That is where our clients' accounts are held. So we do not hold any client money or investments here locally. It's done all through LPL Financial, which is the largest independent firm that supporting independent advisors. It's at 3 times, to give you some relevance here. It's 3 times as large as a firm like Raymond James. So the products and resources that we have available to us through LPL is really outstanding. So we can basically tailor all sorts of different products and services to our clients' plans as needed through LPL Financial. And then we also partner with IHT Wealth Management. IHT provides us with much of our back office support, like bookkeeping, compliance resources, and a lot of other administrative support functions. So that you know that it's not just me and Kim. I mean, we do a lot, and we will be your relationship managers, and we will be the face that you talk to here locally. But we also have a lot of support folks behind us that can provide support for any of our client needs. This is a little bit of background on me. Again, those of you who know me, you know me. So, but those of you who are not as familiar with myself or Kim, This is just a little background information on us. My undergraduate degree is in economics from Wake Forest University. I was in the ROTC program at Wake Forest, so I became an Army officer upon graduating. I got to see the world from 1998 to 2002. That's the best way I can put it. I really enjoyed my time in the military. I got to see all sorts of different places around the globe and got to meet very, very interesting people. In 2005, I achieved my master's in business from the University of Florida, and then became a financial advisor in 2007 and worked several years in rigorous courses and in studies to achieve my CFP in 2012. And I've kept it active ever since. And I've been serving clients for a total of over 17 years as a financial advisor. Very involved in the local community. I've lived in Tampa Bay area for 22 years, and I am currently a trustee on the Rotary Club of Tampa Foundation board. I will be president of the foundation actually beginning in January of next year. I'm also a trustee at Academy at the Lakes, where my son Luke is a senior this year, unbelievably so. And I also have a daughter, Tessa, who is 15, and she is a freshman in high school. So I've got two high schoolers right now, which their schedules are crazy, but it's a lot of fun. And then I also serve as trustee on the Jackson and Action 83 Foundation, which is a foundation founded by former Bucks player Vincent Jackson, and their primary mission is to support local military families. So proud of my community involvement, and outside of that, you'll see me basically chasing my kids around and showing up to all their sporting events and school events and everything they have going on right now. And I also dabble in a little bit of golf and running and working out and stuff like that. So it's a little bit about me, and then a little bit about Kim. Kim has her undergraduate degree from University of South Florida. She has served 14 years as a teacher in our community. God bless her heart. And she was ready for a change, and I was very happy about that because I've known Kim for over 10 years and always knew her to be an outstanding individual, and I knew she'd be great for this role. So she's been working with us for about a year and a half or so, and she basically does everything in our back office on a day-to-day basis. She orchestrates, optimizes various facets of our operations. She guides our clients by staying in consistent communication with them through the client onboarding process and beyond. So throughout our entire relationship with our clients. And then of course, she's our primary point of contact for you on a daily basis for any immediate needs. So how do we serve our clients? Personalized financial planning. Kind of like buzzwords in the industry. You go to any financial advisor and say, yes, I will give you personalized financial planning. But what does that really mean? Well, what we've done is, we've made sure that we can execute on that promise and what that really means by using this trademark process that I'm about to present to you called the Prosperity Pathfinder. So really what it comes down to is advisors can make you all the promises they want. It comes down to, are they executing? Are you experiencing what the promises that they've made? We take pride in executing, and we do that again through this process, through automating this process and making sure that we're doing the things that we promise you that we're going to do. Regular updates with the industry, the markets, any news happenings in our within our practice. We do regular reviews with our clients to make sure that we stay in touch with what's going on in your life, which actually dictates the majority of any changes that we will make in your plans. And then, of course, we host events like this one and like the in-person events that many of you probably have received invites to on a consistent basis. Transparent communication and transparent fee structure. We're going to tell you like it is, and that includes our fee structure. When I went independent, I had the freedom to come up with a very transparent fee structure, and that was one of my biggest sort of gripes with the industry in general prior to this, is that we're very limited in the way our fee structures could be set up. And I never liked that the fee structures were not very clear and transparent for clients. It's just not fair to the client. And so we have a very transparent fee structure that is, to be honest with you, lower than most because I don't have a lot of the overhead costs of many other, employee-based advisors. We have access to a dynamic and comprehensive list of portfolio managers, products, and services. As I mentioned before, that is through LPL Financial. And their main customer, if you will, is independent advisors. So they want to make sure that they always have those best resources available to those advisors and their clients. And then I'm going to demonstrate for you how this Prosperity Pathfinder, how we've integrated these financial tools, mostly web-based financial tools, that will enhance the experience and enhance the process and enhance our ability to serve you and add value to your plan. So here it is. Ta-da! The Prosperity Pathfinder. Again, we've worked on this quite a bit, and it's mainly just structuring it and coming up with ways to really communicate it very clearly to clients and prospective clients. It's consisting of 4 phases. So the current manifest, the Destination Clarifier, the Journey Navigator, and the Legacy Multiplier. So we'll go in first, the first phase, the current manifest. And when you think of the word manifest, I want you to think of the manifest of an airplane or the manifest of cargo on a ship. It's basically a picture of exactly what we have now. What do things look like right now? Just like the question right there on the screen. Where are we now? So we do this through our web-based planning software called Right Capital. We've partnered with Right Capital because they have an exclusive relationship with LPL Financial to where your accounts at LPL can be linked directly to your financial plan. So we know that those numbers in the financial plan are up to date and current at all times. We can also capture your external assets and liabilities. So essentially any other website or any other firm that you do business with, whether it be a 401k plan, whether it be your credit card, your bank, any other firm you do business with, if there is a username and password involved, in most cases, I won't say it's 100% because technology is crazy, but in most cases, it can be linked to this web-based planning software. And then like I said, then we have a clear picture of where you are at all times in terms of your assets. The other part of the Right Capital is there is an advisor and a client interface. Oftentimes working with an advisor, you only see your financial plan once, maybe twice a year, and that's when you're sitting there with your advisor. With Right Capital, you can actually have your own username and password, and you can access your financial plan 24/7. Can't necessarily make changes 24/7 because then we'd kind of lose control of where we're at, and maybe you might make some changes that you didn't want to make. But as far as viewing it, sort of turning the dials a little bit to see what, like if you're staying up, you're up late at night with your partner, and you're like, what if we retired a year or two later or a year or two earlier? You can log in and you can kind of play with those dials a little bit and see what that looks like. So during the current manifest stage, we're going to get an overall snapshot of your current state. So clearly basic profile information, your, age, gender, that kind of thing. Family dynamics. Family dynamics are sometimes overlooked or just not given as much weight as is needed, but we all know that everyone's family dynamics are different. You have multiple marriages, you have kids from different marriages, you have aging parents, you have, parents living with you, you have different, just everyone's family dynamics. And it's so important to capture that and capture it up front so we know exactly like where everyone stands and what everyone's family looks like. Internal and external assets and liabilities, as I mentioned before, can all be captured in real time on the Right Capital web-based planning software. Detailed current net worth statement, that is very important too, so you can see where you are at all times. Your accountant is going to love that. You go to your accountant and say, hey, worked with my advisor, here's my net worth statement. They're going to be kind of taken aback because that doesn't happen very often with an advisor. Current income and expenses, we of course need to capture those. Current income includes not just your current earned income, but also any passive income that's coming in, rental properties, interest, dividends, pension, all that kind of stuff. We need to capture that, and we need to capture your expenses so we can see, are we spending money where we don't need to be spending? We can kind of look at that, and it's important again to have it right there visually so we can see what those are. Estate planning documents, again, another area that gets overlooked often, especially by financial advisors and financial planners. It is such a critical part of your overall plan. I'm going to get into that later because it's a whole nother phase. But during the current manifest phase, we need to establish, do you even have estate planning documents in place? Where are they? And when were they written? When were they finalized? So we can know if we need to update them. Because oftentimes you haven't updated your documents in 10 years. Well, maybe your current situation hasn't changed in 10 years, but the law certainly has. And, we need to update that to reflect current law so that what you want to happen is what's going to happen. So we need to figure out, where are we with your estate planning? The Destination Clarifier, where are we going? Again, writing it down, putting it on paper, it matters. It makes all the difference, because you can sit here and wish in your mind all you want, but until you write it on paper, you're not going to make changes to get where you want to go. And I've kind of divided the Destination Clarifier into two main sort of areas. The first one is goals. And when I say goals, I mean, these are things we have to plan on. Retirement age, retirement income, healthcare and retirement, and any dependent care. When I say retirement age, I really like to call it more like your freedom age. It's not necessarily when you're going to retire, because retirement looks so much different now than it did in the past. No one, I've not really known anyone recently that has quote unquote retired and then just quit working cold turkey. It's typically a process of, okay, I don't have to work anymore, so I'm going to go do this other thing. Oftentimes it's a part-time job, or oftentimes it's contract work with what you were doing before, or maybe it's a hobby that you turn into making money or something like that. But it's typically not a cold turkey, I'm going to stop working. And so when I say freedom age, what I mean is, at what age do you want to have to not work if you don't want to work, and only work if you want to work? At what age can you do that? So that's the age we're going to consider. Retirement income, how much income do you need if you were not going to earn any more income in your lifetime? Healthcare and retirement, obviously we have to plan for that. People are living longer, great, right? But what that comes with is more healthcare costs for a longer period of time. So we do have to plan for that. And that is one of the main areas that I see assets drained very, very quickly when healthcare issues start arising in retirement. And then dependent care, not just talking about minors, so it might be minor children, but aging parents. And now we have this sandwich generation where you have people caring for their minor children at home and also caring for their aging parents at home. And that's a tough spot to be in. And it obviously can be very financially draining as well. So we need to plan for that. And then we go into the dreams. Now, this is the fun part. I just talked about all the scary stuff. The dreams, okay? We got to write these down on paper. And I don't care how lofty that you think they are, because it's not like if you write down that you want to take, a plane ride around the world for a 5-year period, that maybe you'll never get to do that, right? And that's pretty lofty, but maybe you'll never get to do that. But if it's something you want to do and we don't write it down, then you definitely will never do it. And trust me, I've had people in my office sitting across the desk from me, and I said, write down your most lofty goals, and they'll say something that they think they'll never achieve. And the greatest thing is seeing them do it. It's pretty awesome. So dreams like travel, assets, second home, cars, any legacy goals that you have. So inheritance that you want to leave to loved ones, but also legacy goals like charitable giving, legacy goals like, how do you want to be remembered? Those types of things. Then we move into the Journey Navigator. So how do we get there? This is essentially your financial plan. So when I hand my clients their financial plan, written financial plan, and they also have their financial plan in the right capital system, that is essentially the Journey Navigator. Strategy recommendations, this is all coming from me. All of these areas would be covered. And your investment strategies, tax strategies. I do work with other professionals on this. So when it comes to tax strategies, I always want to work with my clients' accountants, if necessary, in order to bounce ideas off and make sure that we're, capturing the best strategies possible. It's always good to have your advisor, your accountant, maybe sometimes even butting heads, right? Because your advisor wants to make you money on your investment. Your accountant wants to save you money on taxes. Well, oftentimes that doesn't match up because you're going to get capital gains tax if you make money on the investment side. And so the accountant doesn't necessarily like the capital gains taxes. But then maybe there's a way that we come together and we come up with a strategy to kind of accomplish both, right? Um, Savings rate, how much should you be savings in order to achieve those goals that we laid out? Estate planning, again, working with estate planning attorneys if necessary. We also have a means by which to get it done in-house, which I will talk about in a minute. Insurance planning, income planning, and then of course Social Security and Medicare. There's several other areas that I didn't list here, but there will be strategy recommendations for all of it. And then once we finalize that plan, it's not finalized. It's not final. It's never final. It's always a work in progress. So we do these regular review cycles to make sure we keep up with the changes that are happening in your life. Clearly, sometimes the changes will be recommended because of changes in, the global environment or the news or the markets or whatnot. But honestly, it's going to be more so based on what's happening in your life. And so we'll have to, sometimes make shifts and adjustments to the plan as we go along to make sure that we're accounting for those changes. And then finally, the legacy multiplier. How do I leave my money? And I also have asked the question, how do you want to be remembered? Estate planning is not just about who gets what of mine. Where does my stuff go? It is somewhat about that, and you want to make sure that your wishes around that are documented in the right ways so that that's what happens. But it's also about ensuring proper care for you and your loved ones if something happens to you and you're still alive. Ensuring that you do not overburden your loved ones, so you have a way of planning ahead of time before you can't speak to it, planning and giving instructions to people on how things are to happen. How are your bills going to get paid? How are your medical bills going to get paid? And then what do you want to happen? Just basically ensuring your wishes are carried out. You have to do it in the right way in order to make sure it happens the way that you planned it to be. So how do you get all this estate planning done? Because I talk to people, and the biggest thing is that no one ever makes it a priority. Oh, I'll get to that later. With my clients, I tend to be the little person on their shoulder saying, "Hey, you got to do your estate plan," and that's part of what I see as my job in this relationship. But how do you get it done? We have a partnership with Estate Guru, web-based estate planning. It's all in-house. It's essentially what I like to call it. It's sort of a hybrid. It's sort of a hybrid between going straight to LegalZoom and doing your estate documents yourself and going to a full service attorney. Because the way this works is we sit down together and I bring you through the entire kind of plug and play documents that make up your estate plan, which includes your trust, your powers of attorney, your healthcare powers of attorney, your will. And so we go through all these documents and we determine who is going to be your successor trustees, who's going to be your power of attorney, where do you want your assets to go, all those kind of questions. We submit it to Estate Guru. They actually have an attorney review it. You get assigned an actual attorney. They sign off on it. They send you a nice leather-bound uh, binder that includes all your documents. We sit down together. We just have to get a couple of witnesses, and we have Kim internally as a notary, and we can get it all documented, finalized right here in house. We will upload it to the Estate Guru web-based estate planning site, and you have a vault that you have access to at all times where those documents, not only do you have the paper copies in the binder that they send you, but you will have them digitally stored on this website that I also have access to. And you can also assign access to anyone that is important in those documents. Powers of attorney, successor trustees, anyone who needs access to those documents in the event something happens, you can assign them their own username to that system as well. So it's a great way to get it done. It's efficient and it's cost effective. Now, I do have people that have had more complex estate planning needs. This is where you have, maybe very complex family dynamics. You have real estate property in multiple states. You have tax situations that call for just more intrinsic estate planning needs. I do have local estate planning attorneys that I have referral partnerships with that we can refer out to and work with them as well as a third party. And of course, I would stay involved in that entire process. So getting started. So that's the final phase. And what I wanted to mention too, before I get into this slide, is that it is not necessarily a chronological process. Okay, initially it might be that way because we're going to get you started with that current manifest. We're going to the Destination Clarifier, Journey Navigator, and then we're going through the cycle of regular reviews and whatnot. But we can be working on multiple different things in different phases of the process at the same time. And additionally, we don't have to finish it all at the same time either. Estate planning can be a very big, elephant to eat. So how do you eat an elephant? You eat it one bite at a time. So we'll do it over a period of time that makes sense. And we might not even start the estate planning process right out of the gate. We might start it, 6 months after we get all of that initial planning done. And then we'll start that and get it done. The point is to get there at some point and focus on it and get it done. But how do we get started with this process? We set up an initial fit phone call. And when I say fit, what I mean is it's basically a casual phone call where we sort of just get to know each other. On the client side or the prospective client side, is this a fit for my situation? Is there a chemistry here? And then on our side, we also want to make sure we're only bringing on clients that are a fit for our practice. Because the last thing we want to do is bring on a client who's looking for us to do something other than what we do for our clients, and it take us away from our ability to serve our current clients in the way that we can best serve them. But we set up that initial fit phone call. Call us at our main line number on the screen there, 813-616-3770. You can email Kim. There's also a scheduled consultation page on our website that you can book a time online. And like I said, I just described that fit phone call. We don't make any decisions during that call. We give you 2 to 3 days to sort of think about it, talk it over with loved ones, and then we follow up in a couple days. If it's a fit, if you feel like this is something that you want to move forward with, and we feel like you'd be a good fit for our practice, then we'll move on to the next step, and we'll get started on that path to prosperity. So if you have any questions, like I said, you can certainly reach out to us at any time. There's multiple ways to do so. You can call us on our main line, email us, visit our website, and then of course, connect with me on LinkedIn. And then we also have a Boardwalk Wealth Solutions page on Facebook. On those pages, you can also you get updates on the markets. I periodically, I'll send out updates really a couple times a week, as much as you'd like to look at them. But we do have monthly market commentaries. We have quarterly market insights, all sorts of news and information. You can also see the invites to all of our events that we are hosting that you can take part in. and and also on our email list. So if you'd like to get on an email list, just and you're not already, you can certainly let Kim know. Your email address will get you on that list. So thank you again so much for joining me today. Again, I'm so happy to see people from literally all over the country join us and have the ability to join us. I know that some of you get our invites to our local events, and you're in Rhode Island. Shout out to Rhode Island, or California, New York, North Carolina. I see you all, but I know you can't come to those because you're not local, but I will make it a point, and we are definitely making it a point to host more of these virtual events so that you all can stay up to date, connected with us. But any questions, reach out. Thank you all again so much for joining us. I hope you all have a great day, and we will see you next time.